다 그래서 잠조에게 랍자 잠조를 랍자 랍고레스 지나 랍자 랍야 돼 가래 랍나 아니 렌제게 삼바 레카나게 삼바 삼바 렌제게 아니 렌제게 삼바 따제 랍자 랍고레스지 먼저 계속 대슈제 네 레데들라 레 개와다 까나게 레세디 레 개와다 레 미개와세 레 카르보세데 레 개와시케빌레체 나고스네 미기빌레 제자다 미기빌레 예제볼라 네 동아용으로마도 대화용이야 말레스 기빌레 예제보텔라 네 대화용으로마도 동아용고 말 제자 레기 레소소기 제부 소소소를 해바레야지 어두스체네 기생 먼저 시에제 어두 시에고라 디고 시에로다.
Good evening. So last week, having concluded looking at the refuge precepts, we started to look at the next chapter, and that's that on causality. And here the chapter started with the 4 aspects of karma. We looked in particular at the first, and we have here in the first point on page 23, positive and negative deeds plant seeds that will bear respective fruit, i.e., goodness produces future happiness and unwholesome deeds produces future suffering. So this first aspect of karma, which in brief is the certainty of karma, is that from virtuous seeds, virtuous karmic seeds, happiness follows, and only happiness will follow. And from non-virtuous seeds, suffering and only suffering will follow. So that was the first point, and we looked at last week, the first of the 4.
le de la yang ane le chike devo le chike devo le ana le phewa se le ki devo de la ane gyuningbu junya da ane yang chik devo monggo ya ane phe chewa se le ki devo phe chewa se de andi kesin di ko shi ro da nga juge jaju sem gi kune lang je jimba ji da wa ina da churim song wa ina da di gi devo de la ane nga juge chik mangbo nuba bene janju sim yu kune la jang churim songwa ina di tebo de la kewa la da mi go wang toya gi yane yang do toya da ane tang char mangbo toya yongures tebo mangbo yongures ya da an tebo dige ane yang ju jimbi ge janju sim yu kune la de jimba da wa ina di gi tebo de la longju de be ma se longju kya chenbo yongures ji de ne sam ju kewa le chik 다 제부 직사변에 디 제부들라 배 망보 개침부 영화도 유니고 영화도 연구했을 그신 디고 시절에 폐체 와서야 아니 등한쪽이 디고 그신 직시로.
We also last week looked at the second of the 4 aspects of karmic law, and usually it's translated as the increasing effects of karma, or the magnification of karma, but we should understand it in the way that it's been translated here. One seed produces many results, each of which has many seeds of a like nature. As we saw last week, that what this refers to is that from a single karmic cause, vast results over an extended period of time can come. And the illustration that's given is if one does any virtuous act with a motivation of bodhicitta, then because of the power of that motivating mind, then the karmic results will be broad and ripen over, or they will be vast and ripen over a long stream of lives. So, for example, if one practices generosity under the motivation of bodhicitta, then that becomes a cause for enlightenment. And enlightenment, of course, is achieved in many lifetimes to come. And moreover, the particular results of that generosity, that too will ripen in a broad manner and over a protracted period of time. So in this way, we can understand that due to the strength of a motivating mind such as bodhicitta, one seed can produce many results, each of which has many seeds of a similar nature.
아니 균ring부 영야 차고래 세팅해서 가서 기신이마 데니게 직슈로 와당지 비트고 펴와서 개월 파자바나 안 디바이네 다가와 미기벨리 스테브 제바이나 당한주기 야 아니 지금 이거 야 bên 상계당 자주 선바당 될려 뇌배 선바 충충 지게베네야 디기 대부 될려야 안뉴 대부 아니 동아 야네 야도 용거야 동아 균리고 용거야 안되네 신고래 세상 제레 개비 레데 레레 때네 제 개벌레 지기네야 대라 때네 대부 망보 용야다 야네 야도 용야 대부 표와 용거래서다 아니 디바 디비기 레 충충 레 지기네 충충 지기네야 안디 대부들라 야네 야도 용야도 균리고 용야다 대부 망보 용 표와 표와 용거래서야 돼 어디네게 그 생각 저기 디고르시 데네자 하는 저기 또 심지어 탐지기 되는 상요고 바토비 쇼스베 자주 셈군에 나야다 디군에 나장은 저 네 지게 류가 예수 예죄도 수름 소야다 안에 개조 강 줍줍도 진양진 냠는 제고래서 이제 그 생이 마셔야 돼 당도 디고르시 바래
Last time we presented a second way to understand this second of the four aspects of karmic law, and that is from a single seed, vast results can come. For example, if one offers something of very small value, but to an incredibly powerful object, such as one's Lama or a Buddha or Bodhisattva, then from this small act, single act of generosity, of where the offering substance is of meager value, but the object to which one offers is a being of enormous virtue, such as one's Lama or another Buddha or Bodhisattva, then the ripening result of this will be vast and experienced over a lengthy period of time, over many lifetimes. And also last week, so that's the second way that one understands this second aspect of the karmic law. And this point that from a single cause many results come, this doesn't only apply to virtuous seeds, but also to seeds of non-virtue, to negative karma. So if one has even a slight negative attitude or a mind of harmful intent towards a Buddha or a Bodhisattva, then because of the power of the object, the Buddha or Bodhisattva, even such a slight act of a mind of harmful intent that's not particularly strong, powerful negativities will follow. And so here again we see that whether it's a virtuous act or a non-virtuous act, independent on either the strength of the motivation or the strength of the object to which the act is directed, the karmic result can be incredibly powerful. So therefore, what one should take away from the second point is that we should always strive to generate a powerful intent, a motivation of bodhicitta, where we commit to whatever we do, we will do so in order to create the causes to become a Buddha for the sake of others and thereby lead others to the state of enlightenment. So with this motivation of bodhicitta and understanding these two aspects that we've looked at of the karmic law, we should ensure that we guard our ethical conduct of our physical behavior, of our verbal communication and our way of thinking. In other words, not harm others through our acts of body, speech or mind, and moreover, any opportunity to help others, we should engage in that. So with such a motivation of bodhicitta, we can accrue vast stores of merit from the commitment not to bring harm, but to benefit others. So now tonight we'll start with the third and then follow that with the fourth of the four aspects of karmic law. To translate them in a way that one's more commonly comes across. The third aspect is you do not meet with karma that you have not created. And fourthly, karma you have created does not dissipate.
당한 주의 지신이다 돈도다 신도다 리카레 지베네 유지고 거래 지난 유델 때네 근데 대부 용마도 유메발라 사번디 마타발라 대부야요 말와스 안베 디나신 아주기 둥하세야디기 나가저기 코리에 둥하세야나 되니게 둥하 가데스 녀베네 둥하 유지고 거마도 둥하 용야 유디메나 안 둥하 용 말해서 그래 제가 디나신 디기 용야 돼야 아주래 디기 용야 유지 고고마도 디기 용야 유디메나 안 디기 용야 말해서 진짜 레 마제바나 마체바시디 돈달라 저기 베네지신다 신도리 가레 이네 유지 메발로 용민도 와스 디나시 아니 디기 이네야 디기 용야 유지 고고래 안 둥아이나 둥아야 유지 고고래 유메발라 디기 용야 말 둥아야 말해서 그래.
The third aspect of karmic law is that a deed not done produces no result. The purpose then of understanding this third point, that one does not meet with karma that one has not created, is that, well, first perhaps to understand it very clearly, is if one, in the context of agriculture, if one wants to have a particular crop or flowers or fruit on a tree, one has to plant that particular seed. And without planting that particular seed, one will not be able, under any circumstance, to achieve that fruitional result of a particular crop, flower, or fruit. And where this is important in our context is that whatever suffering that one experiences within our samsaric experiences, these only come about in dependence on us having created the relevant cause. Every unwanted suffering, every unwanted experience comes about in dependence on our prior cultivation of that cause. And likewise, the happiness that we experience, and certainly the longed for happiness that is stable and unchanging, that happiness only comes about in dependence on the cultivation of the relevant causes. So whether it's temporary happiness or the lasting, stable happiness of liberation, that only comes about in dependence on the accumulation of the relevant causes. So that is the meaning of this third point. A deed not done produces no result.
le maje bada mache bale de gyudi mena an debu du yung me ba inza jogi digi di debu re jesan di gyudi gewa sa ko re zo le dewa ko ye ba ina jogi ane digi du ka sa gewa sa ko re je digi ko ye ba ina an zo le gewa sa ko re gewa sa ba ina di debu di an zo le digi yung re 당 아들 동아 고구매 봐서 동아데 파 매고 매봐 소고 동아데 고구어 말에 동아 먹고 있나 동아 유용하게 미게 와디 파 빵샤고 까고 그래서 미게 와 지겨 말에 미게 와디 빵고 그래지래 니 미게 와 맞에 봐제 미게 와 빵봐 있나 아니 미게 베레 사고 말 마사바 인자 니 제보 동아 용고 말에 디네 인자 저기 가르쳐 그랬으네 개와까지 주투에게 개조 강 주투 주고 그래서 진짜 미게 와서 때까지 빵 파빵야야 배주 전에 빵고 그래지래
All of us, we have this innate yearning to experience only happiness and to avoid all forms of suffering, frustration or misery. So with this understanding, we apply it to these karmic aspects that we've looked at thus far. Not wanting to experience suffering, then it's imperative that we abandon the causes that lead to suffering. In other words, we turn away from all forms of non-virtue. Similarly, with the understanding that it's virtue, it's positive karma, that is the cause that leads to our desired state of happiness. This is what we must focus on developing, striving to accumulate virtue, because that leads to happiness, ensuring that we don't accumulate non-virtue, because this only results in suffering.
규사고레스 규스가르사고레스는 아주 주름송애들이 예제래다 주름송고고레스 제가 주름송 개와 치미기 땐데라 디기고고로 아즈레 미로지 개베네 밀레 미땐데야 류라 나자메바체 아니 지나 체정고 돼야다 류라 나자메바 아니 지 류데보다 셈기보숑고로와 다디네 요야기 규디 아주 주름 송고고레스 고로다 지나 규디 주름레 주름 송하나 밀류토고레제 지나 주름 송고야 되 개침보레스 지나 디네 연장 아주 밀류토비야다 밀류기 땐라 디기 요야기 고고여 봐서 디 마오바나 디 규디 제보디 주비야라 아주 규디 주름 송야다 아니 진배념을 나서 받아야 되리스
Wanting to achieve a good rebirth in our future life, a rebirth at least as good as this one, another human rebirth, or even if one desires to be born as a god, then understanding that the result comes from causes and the happy result of a good rebirth comes from virtue, then this is what we must accumulate. And then if one wonders, so what are the causes that lead to a good rebirth? Well, the primary cause that leads to rebirth in the happy migrations of a human or a god is the cultivation of ethical conduct. Having a mind that is ethical, ensuring one's physical and verbal behavior is ethical. This is what we did in our past lives. We accumulated the cause of ethical behavior, and we are now experiencing that result. So to ensure that we achieve at least a similarly good rebirth in our future lives, and in particular, a human, not just a human rebirth, but a human rebirth where we are healthy, where our lifespan is long, and that we experiencing a lot of happiness. Those are results, and those results come about independent of causes, and those are results of happiness, not of suffering. Therefore, the causes are causes of virtue, of positive karma. And amongst the various causes required for a human rebirth that's conducive to spiritual practice, the primary cause is ethical conduct, but further causes such as generosity are also required.
And in 당은 저기 주름송에 대가서 류가 있으면 이제 덤이야 되려와 근데 소주 바로지 먼저 소주 비게 심지어 소주기 소주 제가 이나 저기데 레들 미게벨에서 거래 다 심지어 소주 제가 미게벨에서 와인자 다 나도 동아 영역이 규사 바래 제가다 니게 제보 가르리 거서는 아주 개와치마 나선의 기야다 안에 니게 나선의 기고래 되는 가성이 때라 누가 용어야 차고로와 아니 되네게 게시 가성이야 타바이네야 미르고 끼베네야 미티엔데래야 아니 내나서 망보 그래서네 니마 심제 수리가 그 수불이야 마스에 강한테 쇠바 인사 니기 제보들이 아주기 미르고 가성을 타르지 미르 끼바 이나 미티엔데래야 아니 아주기 내나서 망보 요야다 아니 채통도 차야 안되네 용고레스 제상 소주바 소주벨레 델라티네 제부 동아 나송게 나송델레 동아 용고야 빠도메바 용고야 차고레 나송레 타바 이나야 제마 마오바니 미지 깨발렘바 이나야 안에 미디 덴델레야 채통동 차야다 안내 나자 망보여야다 디차고 제가 소주벨레기 제부디 용고레 제가 디네자 당아 주기 소주 지금에 선배 소주도 지금에 선배 파 송제 셈게 다 소주에서 해야 싸우기는 지금이야 선배기 dom네 다 아주기 dom요도 안디가리아 아주기 셰 셈제 소교야 소교비하기 아니 셈제 강안에 타야다 소교비하기 제가 있나 안디기 개와디 레디 개와차고래 지난 디기 제비기 제부들라 마음바나서 안는가 저래 미 라다 미고방도야 라다 덴드기고래 디기 덴드기비 덴데라 아니 미샹다기 아주 소주 송제 현교 소교야랴 배주 제바 인자 디기 제보 소설이야 내나서 용화 안 체령화 용고래제래
It's just been mentioned then that the primary cause for achieving a good rebirth, a rebirth as a human or God, is developing an ethical outlook. In particular, engaging in the ethical conduct of abandoning non-virtue with our body, speech, or mind. So let's look at an illustration here. So we take one that's easy to understand, that of killing. Killing is widely accepted as being negative. It's non-virtuous. Therefore, the karma that is accumulated from killing, from taking life, is non-virtuous karma, which is the cause for suffering. So if one kills, creates the causes of killing, how does such a karmic seed ripen? Well, if it ripens as a propelling karma, so it propels a rebirth, that rebirth can only be in the lower realms. And then once born there, one experiences all the sufferings that are associated with that particular rebirth. So again, if an imprint, a karmic seed from killing, ripens and propels a rebirth, it can only lead to a rebirth in the suffering lower realms. However, if it ripens, but not as a propelling rebirth, but ripens during one's lifespan, or during one's life, then let's say one has been reborn as a human under the influence of another karmic seed, but then the karmic act of killing in a previous life ripens in this life as a human being, or in the lifetime of a human being. How is it then experienced? Well, it's experienced in that one will have a propensity towards killing, one will enjoy killing, find it pleasurable. Moreover, one will experience many illnesses, and one will have a shorter lifespan. So this is how the karma of killing can be, or is experienced. If it ripens as a propelling rebirth, it propels a rebirth in one of the suffering lower realms. One experiences the karmic effects of that associated with that lower realm. If it doesn't propel a rebirth, but ripens within the experience of a being in a happy migration, as say a human, it will be experienced as having a propensity towards killing, experience of many illnesses, as well as having a shorter lifespan. So that's the karmic result of accumulating the non-virtue of killing. But if one is striving as a practitioner to achieve the causes that lead to a good rebirth, then the mere non-engagement in killing isn't the practice of ethical conduct. Rather, the practice of ethical conduct is the commitment to not kill. So intentionally generating the commitment that I will not take life, I will not kill. This is a mind of restraint, and the mind of restraint is a mind of ethical conduct. So here one is restraining one's mind and thereby one's behavior, physical behavior, not to kill. And this is the virtuous act of not killing. So it's not merely not killing, but it's having the intention that one will not kill. And that, depending on the strength of that intention, is the strength of the virtuous karma one accumulates. Should that virtuous karma ripen in propelling a rebirth, it will lead to a rebirth only in a happy migration, not into a suffering realm. And if it ripens in the experiences of a lifetime, in a lifetime, one will not be inclined towards taking life, one will not experience many illnesses, one will have a longer lifespan. So the karmic ripening effects are completely the opposite to the karmic ripening effects that follow from killing.
Majimba lemba said that Zaugini Chigme, Shengi Zane, Shengi, Rangi, Topam, maybe Shengi, Jala, Guchala, Kanisangi, Lingime, Sambigita, Majimba lemba, me, Matevale, Kuma said Zaugini Chigme, Sambigi. That's some not hiding on the Surim Song Chakore, did Majimba lemba, Luyu on the Surim Song. My Zaugini Chigme, some of the Sonyadi, Majimba lemba, Sonya, the Surim chair. Nada. Denigi Surim Sundu, that in a Sosoranki, Shanlia, Pembe Chavakazi, Jutu Sosuki, Lunga Yusun Yukone, Shanlia, Pembe Chavakazi to Jimba, Jimmy Yamnakazi, to the Chevaina, and the Jimmy Yaman. Digi Debu de la Karim was in Majimba Lemba Surim Suainza, Digi Debole Mahobana, Anzuki, Casore, Dendriki Tentoya Chagorba, Denenza, and the day. 아니 마음비기 된주기 토바이나 된 데려야 아니 진비기 염내 제바자 류 롱주에 토를 강하면 되게 소소라나 아니 저게 튕기엔 토를 강하면 되게 차고래 어디 인상 저기 뒤제와데 좀 뒤래 단 마지막 렘비기 도쇼가 저 마송하지 다 세나 제바이나 다 세나냐 다 제바이나 니 미겨 와차고래 니기 나 견지는 저기 나송을 깨기 차르고래 나송게 다디기 아니 세나 제반자 진비냠네 제 두고 말 진바 땅 두고 말 진바 땅 마투고 인장 롱주 중요해요 말에 롱주 용 제사 디네자 최위 튕겨 토네 강아 차고래 디네자 저기 제사 디네게 삼단데 세나 제바이나 세나 제니 제바디기 세나 마송 안자 세나 제반자 디기 레디 제보디 가와지를 생각송을 끼로 그래 제 나 나송에 때라 나 세나 제지 진비 냠는 맞아 봐서 나송에 때라 아니 내가 저기야 안 최유 튕기에 강아 자도 강아 치고래 근데 또비 동아 빠도면 봐 용과 차고래 아니 니기 가지고 아니 마오바나야 밀게 올렘바 이나야 니게 제보들이야 아는 가지고 가서래 아니 변조 용용 아니 튕기에 강아 자야다 어두 안 차고로 봐 디네 인자 대소 동아 세나지비기 제부 안디 용고래 삼다야다 다 세나게 도쇼도 세나 싸우기는 지금에 선배대 진에 지금 말에 선배 세나 송제 안디 수름래 니기 제보들이 깨왔지만 된줄이 깨로래 된줄 깨는다 가지고다 세나 송제 소속이 강 투두기 샹라 팬비게 자오로 진바이 냠네 제바자 니 제보들 가지고 된들이야 안 지기 튕긴데 야고 아니 어체 주투가 강하면가 용고래지래 어디네게 삼 나네 레균제 세야디 두스네 지난 레기 대시 가상 예마슈바니 길레소소 녜바레스 레기 제보소소 녜바레스 세나 제비게 레디 코 제보딩 나솔라 끼그레 디 제보라 아니 가서래 튕긴게 강아 사야도야 강아는 또베동안 용해야 차고래 아니 당연히 세나 송비게 세나 싸우기는 지금에서 세비 수름디다 개와래 수름 소치고래 니 되고데 된들이 기고래 제가 된들기는 세나 송한자 세나 송의 진비기 냠는 제도 진비기 제보디 아주 롱주 중에 차고 제가 밀이 토야다 된들 밀이 된 토야 된델이야 튕긴지 강한 매트가 튕긴 좀 모여야지 아니 세나 송비 송지 진비 냠는 제발의 용고래 제가 되는 인사 규소서
Let's look to make sure this is clear. We'll take another illustration, and that is then a non-virtue of stealing. So stealing or taking what belongs to someone else or deceiving others, when this is of course non-virtue. The virtuous act here is to generate the attitude that I will not steal, I will not take something that belongs to someone else or deceive others in any way. So this is a mind of restraint, this mind, this commitment of I will not take what is not mine, I will not steal from others or deceive others. This is a mind of restraint, and a mind of restraint is what is meant by ethics. This attitude that I will not, in this case, steal from others, take what is not mine. So this then is a virtuous mind. And especially then if one adds to this that not only will I not take from others, not only will I not steal from others rather, I will actually help them as much as I can with my body, with my speech, and with my mind. So here one is practicing the ethical conduct of refraining from stealing from others and combining this practice of ethics with that of generosity. Because the practice of generosity is the wish to benefit others, to use whatever we have, whether it's our material resources or our skills, our speech, our way of thinking, everything to benefit others. This is the practice of generosity, the wish to help others. So if we develop the mind of generosity combined with the mind of restraint, of the mind that restrains from stealing, then one creates, through the ethical conduct of restraining from taking what's not ours, one creates the cause for good rebirth in our future lives. Moreover, through combining this with the practice of generosity, wanting to benefit others, wanting to ease the pain and difficulty of others, and thereby practice generosity, when those virtuous seeds ripen, they ripen firstly as a good rebirth through the practice of ethics, and through the practice of generosity. In that good rebirth, one experiences an abundance of resources. One achieves favorable circumstances without difficulty. The opposite way of thinking to generosity is the mind of miserliness. So the mind of miserliness serves to prevent us from being generous. This is a mind where we place our own interest first and foremost, and we grasp at everything, our material resources and our skills and qualities as being there for our own benefit, first and foremost, and not having much regard for others. This mind of miserliness leads to us not even seeing the opportunities to practice generosity, let alone taking them. And therefore, if one does not accumulate, if one does not engage in generosity, or have a generous attitude, a generous way of thinking, one doesn't accumulate the causes that will lead one in future lives to have an abundance of resources and to have achieve favorable circumstances with ease. Rather, one will struggle to acquire favorable circumstances. So therefore, this attitude of miserliness, this needs to be abandoned. And this is abandoned again through the commitment that I will guard my mind, ensure that I'm not miserly. Rather, I will develop a generous outlook, an attitude of wanting to benefit others and use everything at my disposal to be of benefit. And in this way, when we combine this with the attitude of I will not take what is not mine, I will not steal or deceive others, we're accumulating ethical conduct which leads to a good rebirth, combined then with a practice of generosity. In that future good rebirth, we'll have an abundance of resources and we'll easily achieve favorable circumstances.
Meba chayo mares ora, meba chaduk mares. Gewa cheba gewi debu digi di meba chag mares, in debu mingi des ora. Ye cheba chumisawa.
Gosa, okay, go on.
Chumisawa lana, chumisawa lana chala roba meba chaduk wasi ora. Chumisawa sini meba ma chaba chala roba ma roba de lago ora. Chasang anzuki digbi leji che, and digba di ma shaba ina. Tiba Mashaba Dagal Shabana, Dibi Dibu de Mauban Duan Injimijin, Yungres, or Dibu Yungre Mado, Diba Leje Sane, and Diba Mashaba Shashabana, and Dibu Dunga Manuadi, Meva Chayo Mares or Chumisawas or. And Dinashing Anzuki gave Leje Sabine, gave Leje Saje, Yajik. Gave Leje Sane, and Anzuko Contro Chumbalana, and Contro Gima, gave a Jumsha or Jumgorwa. Denege Gawa di Ba Saje, Gawa di Control of Machumbaina, and the Mombana Digi Kiwi Tebudi, we have a digi, we have a chagma digi in Jimmy Jungre, or Jazan, Lady, Lady Chumisawa, Lea Carriage Jeva in there, and Tebudi, Deneki Jungre, says the Shikurwa.
And looking at the fourth of the four aspects of karmic law at the bottom of page 23. Every deed you do with your body, speech, or mind leaves a karmic seed on your continuum that is never exhausted unless experienced or neutralized by purification. So the meaning of this fourth point is that, in brief, karma you have created does not dissipate. So if one accumulates virtue, that karmic imprint doesn't waste away. It will be experienced. Similarly, if one accumulates non-virtue, that karmic seed does not waste away either. It will be experienced. So therefore, every negative deed that one has engaged in places a negative karmic seed in one's imprint, and that suffering result will be experienced unless it has been purified. Then it will not be experienced. Otherwise, it will be. Similarly, if whatever virtuous deed one engages in, that places a virtuous imprint on one's experience, on one's continuum, and that happy or desired karmic result will be experienced. A happy result will follow, unless it has been destroyed by anger. So that in brief is the meaning of the fourth point, that karma you have created does not dissipate or does not go to waste.
당은 저기 대시시에 semchen soju soje bada serna da loyim la soba lunga yusnyu kone digba ben soju ge leru ba saba ina da soju be ge le saba inza di soju be le di 당은 저기 che dele ya an ya ja be ji nianbo dianjie ma xiaodom che ba ina an ko le di ge jebu di nyo mo ya ge su tu go ba xiaodom che an 저기 dinigi nianbo dobshu kone an digba xiaya ane 장주 셈 검제 디버샤야 ane 진에 동반이 검제 두 제바이나 ane 고 대부디 규디 누버 매바서 용거래 누버 매바서 바는 마오바는 디 대부디 민투고 말해 배나 저기 신도마 답이야기 사번 주요바네 사번디 신도와 계획이 누버 주요바네 ane 사번 주요바네 사번 될이야 니말 파감매 니말 감야다 초우시우셔야다 출파 죄죄제 고 초부쇠베네 고 누버디 누메차로 버와 누버 메바차 제가 사번디다 대시 누버 요르데 고北京 차와다 디네 메다 죄다 긴기 고 누버 메바쇠도 딘 사번디 마사나 마답샤베네 디디부게 두고 말해 대시 당보 사번 요르데 델레 괜다지 고 메바쇠 살와 제가 기 두고 말와 다 디니게 사번 델야 디니게 괜가 하야 마체바체 고사날 말루셰바네 누구디기 용으로와 어비디나싱아 저거 소주기 레지 셈정 소주비 레지 사차완자 다 소주비 레지 사차완자 개와치말랑 가서 기야기 유디파 사차와리다 유사자 다 유디 사차완자 나 저기 델야 년보 뜻이 삼다제 백 샤돔 제바이 샤돔 제바이나 되느냐 누바디 규디 가서 기 규디 누바디 매와주고 누바 충ሾ수 자르고래 나서 기 투야기 누바디 매와주고래 니나시 하나 저기 년보 뜻이 된 자주 셈 고미하다 동료도베 샤라 곰제 곰바이나 아니 되니기 가서 기기 대시 레셈제 소주빌 레디 누바 충쇼 차네 아니 고 마오바나 디기 견제네 가서 나서 기 투고 마다가제 기 투고 마다 되니기 누바디 레디 소주 레사제 님보 땡제 강아주 매바 맞아 봐 있나? 니바디 매바 맞아 봐 있나? 안 고 자샤 봐 있나? 되는 나서는 기용을 해서 진짜 취미 싸워서 대보디 님보 님비고 거네 고 샤도 맞아 봐 있나? 안 디바디게 대보디 나서는 인지 미지 기리했어. 고 매바 책 말해서 그래. 다 님보 땡 봐 있나? 고 니 대보디 하 매바 책 그래.
We could understand this fourth point through any of the negative deeds, such as killing, stealing, or sexual misconduct. But let's take that of killing, because we've looked at this previously. So if one does, where one has engaged in an act of killing, if one then decides, recognizes that one has definitely engaged in an act of killing, if not in this life, in a past life, recognizing that as with the first aspects of karmic law, that can only ripen in suffering, and as we've just seen that in the third aspect, that unless when it ripens, it will only ripen in unless it's purified, one will experience it. So therefore, recognizing this, then a practitioner decides to apply the four opponent powers to this previously accumulated negative deed. So they reflect on refuge, bodhicitta, generating the recognition of the fault of what's been done and the commitment not to engage in it again, and as an antidote, reflecting on, for example, meditating on, for example, bodhicitta, or cultivating the wisdom realizing emptiness, whichever antidote that the practitioner has an affinity with. And in dependence on the strength of those four opponent powers, the strength of that previously accumulated negativity is either weakened or completely destroyed. So you can understand this through the analogy of if a young plant has sprouted and is just emerging from the ground. But if the climate is not favorable, there's unseasonal weather, either it's very cold and there's frost, or it's scorchingly hot, then that sprout will wither and die, and the plant will not be able to grow. So similarly, if we have, for whatever negative deed that we have accumulated, such as that of killing, in dependence on the application of the four opponent powers, and in relation to the strength of that we manage to apply those four opponent powers, we will be able to at least weaken and possibly even eliminate, destroy that previously accumulated non-virtue, even a non-virtue as powerful as that of killing. And if we are able to completely eliminate it, it will not ripen. Or, as what is most likely, is we will not be able to completely eradicate the more powerful seeds, but we will be able to weaken them. And a weakened negative karmic seed will probably not be able to propel a lower realm rebirth, but rather will be experienced in a lifetime, and therefore an experience in a far weaker way. So therefore, even a powerful previously accumulated negativity can be weakened, and substantially so, through the application of the four opponent powers, and thereby it will either not ripen or ripen in a way that is not severe.
사장니로 실화다 변에 델리아 직 장모직단 차와니보디 차와데까지 슈체로 변에 장모디 니보 충소 따도 거래 제가다 장모디까지 슈체로 변에 사위 되디 안에 니보 충다 변에 강바직 나라간 저기 사람 민영 바차도 배 장모 배까지 슈 장로 따서 장모 슈체로 되지 죄로 셴네 되지 당보도 장로 마변에도 죄여 바지 저 팅디 바지 당한주 장로 빠샤바네 장로되게 슈체체체 로도 안한주 죄디마 니버 충쇼로 거와 니버 충쇼로 거와 디나시다 장모 죄바네 대지 장모 죄바제 대 차로지 빠샤바네 야 차와디 죄까지 슈체체로도 장모디마 니버 충쇼 당 거와 그래서 차랑이로 실바다 디나싱한주 디바사바디 디바사샤바디 디년보 없이 디년보 된지 아주 그 계절 주 네 지게 ङ아 사야다 베지 돼야다 진짜주 셈고야도 동유도 베셔라고야 잠재고면 그지까지 디니기 계절까지 숙체부 주투베네 디니기 아니 미기 레이드 니버도 충충 주고 왔다 가지 되나 최고라 아제자디 미 충충 줘봐네 깨와치마 나선도 깨마투야다 안둥아 용모야 차야디 디차고로 봐 다디나신 대지간도 개화로 제베네 지당간도 개화사바도 추춤송야디 개화시르바다 진비 냠네 제데 개화래 지단 디기 데부디 아니 마음발 용그레스 대야 디스워레 용그레스에 춤미서와레 데부 용그레스에 대야 다야 나도 진비 냠네 제 추춤 냠네 제 녀래야 안디제리야 안고 콩로시올라 밀리아스 제 네비 자와 마보 제베네 디니기 개화디 미개화디 슈체체로디 나도 디치 개화사제 개화 니버디 니버 춤을 따사래 니버 춤을 따사와나 대진예망 아주 추름송야기 데부디 는 개화치만 가서는 깨도 가서 된줄을 깨야래 가보자고 그래서 니버충 다사르와 그래서 나도 차라나시로 미개화디까지 양내양도 진짜 슈처를 따지 아주 계획리에게 니버 슈충 따봐 제가 디네에서 디제고 뭐바나 디기야디에 깔려 가자고 그래서 디네에서 저기 다 디네기 그 진배 냠len제 수준 냠len제네 델이야 제리야 미기베 삼로 슈침보다 콩로 슈침 깨야다 내게 마중바 있나 디기 제부디도 마음 반응을 된줄 깨야다 아니 제부디기 용으로해서 그러다 주미사와레서 디서 그래.
To understand this this fourth aspect of karmic law, that karma you have created does not dissipate. So the way to get rid of negative karma is to apply the four opponent powers to it, and in that way we can get rid of we can eliminate previously accumulated negative karma. And this is important to do, because if we don't do that, as it says in this fourth karmic aspect, karma you have created does not dissipate, it will not waste away unless we eliminate it through the application of the four opponent powers. And similarly, virtue that we've accumulated, this too will ripen in a happy result. It will not go to waste. unless, though, we destroy it through the generation of, or through the arisal of anger. The way to understand this is, now that autumn is well and truly here, and the nights and the mornings are a lot colder, so our homes are quite cold at the moment. To eliminate the suffering of being cold, we apply the opponent's power of turning on our heater. And in relation to the strength of heat that we generate with our heater, the strength of the cold is weakened in our homes, and our homes become warm and comfortable again. So there's this relationship through the stronger the heat, the weaker the cold. Or the weaker the heat, the stronger the cold. So this is the same way, through this understanding we can understand how previously accumulated karmic seeds can be eliminated. So where we have accumulated non-virtue, we generate regret for that act with a commitment that I will not engage in such a negative deed again because I do not want to experience a suffering result, and thereby we go for refuge, generate bodhicitta, and apply an opponent's power, such as reciting sutras or meditating on bodhicitta or cultivating the wisdom realizing emptiness. And independent now on the virtue that's being accumulated, as the strength of our virtue grows within us, the contrary non-virtue, what we're trying to eliminate, the strength of those previously accumulated karmic seeds weaken. And therefore, because of the strength of our opponent powers that have been accumulated, those virtuous minds, the previously accumulated non-virtue weakens. Meaning that those imprints, those negative seeds may be eliminated, or if not, if they ripen, they will ripen in a way that is far less severe. So this applies to non-virtue, but it also applies to virtue. So where we've accumulated virtue through cultivating the mind of ethical conduct or the attitude of generosity, these are virtue seeds on our continuum that will lead to good rebirths and an abundance of resources and favorable circumstances. And that will come about. And that, because as we see in this fourth point, the karma we've created does not go to waste. But if the mind of anger ripens within us, arises within us, due to the strength of our anger, that serves to weaken and possibly even eliminate our previously accumulated virtuous karmic seeds. And therefore, these virtuous karmic seeds, due to being weakened, it becomes unlikely they will have sufficient strength to propel a good rebirth. And if one experiences the ripening effect of those weakened karmic imprints in future lives, that ripening effect will be very weak.
Dine gi chu mizawa soki tsulla samdes ngeri langdor tsushin je kwela sungdo 지상 다출라 삼대스의 디진열 셰디게 삼당 오래서 그러다 출라 삼대스의 데니게 삼당 전에 안에 개와다 디고 빠야다 안에 개와디게 냠는지야 계슈 주회야 안에 추신도 제고래서 안에 상예기 마 안에 마 롭든 나샤바 나신지 제고래서 그래.
Continuing the text now on the top of page 24. When you have contemplated these four aspects of karmic law, the importance of living in accordance with the teachings of abandoning harm and cultivating good becomes obvious. So here then, one has reflected well on these four aspects of karmic law. That firstly, the certainty of karma, and that from one seed many results will follow. And thirdly, that you do not meet with karma that you have not created. And fourthly, that karma you've created does not go to waste. Then it becomes manifestly clear, becomes evident to oneself that one needs to live in accordance with the teachings of abandoning harm and cultivating good. In other words, to train in the same way as all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas train.
나데네 추신도 삼대 세대 삼세 대지 세대 대지 라야디게데 가르세나 개와 제바했나 디 대부 동아 용그리 가서 디기 용그리 세다 디고 제바했나 디 대부 동아 용그리 세데 게디게 개위 레다 미기비 레기 대부 디루 소소 용그리 마도 개위 레라테네 대부 동아 용 말에 미기위 레라 되네 제부 디기 용고 말해서 제가 디 개화까지 주변에 디 제부 디기 용거래서 디바까지 제바나 디 제부 동아 용거래서네 디 소송 해바래서네 되네게 삼다 지그래 되네 삼다네 되네 아니 가르치고 그러시네 제가 다 개화디 개화로 지네 소수고 꿀롱당 안에 꿀롱 왕기 개화디 춘주 제베네 안에 직 제베네 배 Sonam 제보 개체 모양하다 누버치 모양이야 양내 양도 양이야 배는 아주 sem전 탐지게 된다 sem전 탐지 동하다 자나 sem배 잠니지 삼다 sem전 탐지 상주고방 토벌 제고도 sem배게 전주 심지 군내 랑제 아주 진변 냠는 제바도 주림년의 제바 배는 니메직 주림 소와 있네요 내 손에 니미직마도 손요 말데 이내 디 제보들이야 개와치마 하다미 고바 토비야 안대양 살직마이 발렘 망부 살망부 하다미 안에 양도 하다미 고바 토투야 안디 텐데야 안에 리데와데 셈기부요야 안에제 어두스네 기주 바도메 버 용고레 셈베게 데 군마 자주 셈주 군네 랑제 하는 아주 진배다도 수름 소와 있는 디 제보들에 배 개첨보다 뉴버첨보 안에 망부 용고레 세삼다 두삼다 다른 아주 디비르 제베네 다 소소 디바 제베나 소소고 콩로랑 콩도 배 콩도 슈체보 랑제 sem정 소주 제하다 미 구마고야 세나 제하다 되네 제베는 군롱 되네 왕게 아니 지기 디바디 슈체보 되네게 제보들에 개와치만 가서게 야네 차르몽보 야네 야도 개고야다 기위 땡들에 누가 빠도메 뭐 유니고 용과 되네 차고래 제가 되네 현장 레기 제보들라 소소를 매버래 되래 양 제보들래 양 안에 군노다 되네게 토네 안에 거슬 지바이네 될이야 안 빠도메 뭐 용과야다 뭐 제보 뭐 용과야 되네 차고래 해서 비게 온두스네 삼다 제보 패당한 삼다 다데네 마제바다 마체바시도 세상한테 디기 구고를 세서 디기 구고 소소야 롱저야고 구고 소소야니 지 미수이나 가부치엔 구고를 되니기 지연도 디 귀디 아니 게줄 마두바나 디하요 말에 세상 게줄 두고 그래스 디 마제는 요요 말에 세상 게줄 두고 게줄 두고 수림 소야데 류가 예수 예제되면 수림 송고도 셈 내내게 삼다지 수림 소야데 수림 소야 삼다야다 되네 안에 디바 동안요아디 육 미게와 마사바이나 동안요아 되네요 말아 제가 되네 인상 될 양아도 동안 먹어 인상아도 동안 탈고 와서 동안 될파 유 추팀 숨고를 미게 류가이스 예지도 파 자오이는 지기가 말에 지기 민도 삼제 예저 도면 삼다야데 언두스네 삼당고래 되네 가지고 출라 삼당하세 디시오래 제가다 안에다 개와님마 미게와로 사바 있네요 미가 와서 살아했네. 당한 미가 와서 살아했으면 디버제 살아서는 마샤바체 될 님보 된제 하는 아주야 샤돔 제고래스 디샤돔 제바이는 디부 용고 말해스 디샤돔 마제바 샤샤바는 디부딘 제마동아도 용그래 삼제 두삼 따야다 근데 지 개화 제베이나 당이 개화 제바레스는 제제야 나게게다 밀리아 통초 콩로 제바이는 딩이 님마 게지 개화 제 뉴버디 제도 님에 차로 그래. 진짜 되네 인자 메자고 있는 되네 지기 말했습니다. 샤라 콩라야다 샤리아 통조다 나게게 사고 있는 지기민도 섬매송야당 하는 거라서 님마 개와 제샤버들 어딘이야고 제샤 빼야고 중샤서 야네 야도 가와고 모레스 되네 공부에나 디기 기위 제보디 디기리 용고레스는 되네기 누스네 삼당고레제다 되네게 삼당에 아니 게주주야야 아니 직주야다 아니 디바바야기야 자와치고레스
고네케는다네 제시랑체 데이코노체
소소게와 제바딜라 배야고 중샹에 삼 소소게와 제바데 제수이라 제고레스 제수이라 제나 아니 게바디야 뉴바체루고레스 대출라 삼대세 삼다나 디네 삼당고레스 올다네
When you've contemplated these four aspects of karmic law, the importance of living in accordance with the teachings of abandoning harm and cultivating good becomes obvious. To understand this paragraph very clearly, let's summarize these four karmic aspects. So for the first one then, the certainty of karma, here coming to reflect that all desired happiness, all wanted states, comes about only in dependence on virtue. So all that we have that is good and all the good that we long for will only come about in dependence on accumulating virtue. Similarly, all suffering that we experience, all suffering experiences that we do not wish to experience, all of these come about in dependence on negative karma. This is definite. This is certain. So here the first aspect is gaining certainty that happiness comes from virtuous karmic seeds. Suffering follows from non-virtuous karmic seeds. Happiness cannot come from non-virtue, nor can suffering come from virtue. That is impossible. So this is the first point, gaining certainty or a definite understanding that from virtue comes happiness, from non-virtue follows suffering. Then reflecting on the second aspect of karmic law is that an act that is virtuous or non-virtuous depends on the motivating intention, and the strength of the virtuous or non-virtuous result depends on the strength of that motivating intention. There are other factors, such as the object to which one engages with, but primarily it's about our motivation. Here, when reflecting on this, we come to see the importance of bodhicitta. There is no more powerful mind than that, the mind of enlightenment, the mind of bodhicitta. So if we generate the attitude of bodhicitta on a regular basis every day and refresh it throughout that day, then every virtuous act we do is motivated by bodhicitta. And in this way, what we understand here with the second point is that from a single virtuous deed that's performed under the influence of a powerful motivation such as bodhicitta, a hugely powerful virtuous result will come and can be experienced over many lifetimes. For example, from a single virtuous act motivated by bodhicitta, one can achieve not only a good rebirth in one's next life, but good rebirths as a human or God in many lifetimes. So in this way that we come to understand here at the second point, that from a single deed, but if motivated by a powerful intent, many good results can come, such as many good favorable rebirths. Then the third point, that a deed not done produces no result. Here then, we come to understand that wanting to experience any form of happiness, such as harmonious relationships or any desired result, this comes from virtuous karma. If one does not create the cause, one will not experience the result. So therefore one must strive to accumulate virtue, no matter how small. Virtue must be accumulated. And here this leads to the commitment that I will develop an ethical outlook. I will guard my mind. I'll be mindful of my intent and ensure my mind is always virtuous. And this then, in conjunction with this, not wanting to experiencing suffering, and suffering is only experienced in dependence on having created the causes, one commits to refraining from accumulating negative karma. So here, this too, with the third point, we're committing to turn away from non-virtue, no matter how slight, and to always ensuring our mind is virtuous, no matter what we're engaging in. And then fourthly, with the fourth point here, that karma that we've created does not dissipate. Here where we know that in this lifetime we have accumulated a number of negative deeds, and in past lifetimes a vast array of these. These previously accumulated negative deeds do not need to wear us down. We can do something about them. And that means we can, through the application of the four opponent powers, we can destroy, or at the very least, severely weaken or substantially weaken previously accumulated negative karma, and therefore we need to engage purification practice. Furthermore, as a companion to this, we must be mindful, be aware of our mind, and ensure that we are not overcome by minds such as pride and anger, because when these ripen, we look down on others and we become angry at them. This serves to eliminate, to destroy our hard-won virtue. And that virtue then will no longer have the strength to lead to good rebirths or desirable, favorable circumstances. So therefore we must be careful not to be overcome by negative attitudes, because that will not only accumulate non-virtue, but will weaken and maybe destroy our previously accumulated virtue. So here it's through the understanding of these four aspects of karmic law that we come to, as we see in this verse, it becomes clear to us that we need to abandon harm and cultivate good.
세상에다 개디 랑도르 추진도 제고라 세도 개와도 디바세도 지산 되네게 되지 금센 되네 삼당제 다 개와세디 아니 지금 소소이 냠는지야 디바세디 바 도르제 방고 그래스 대한 추진도 제라 세도 추진도 세도 델야 안에 상기기 남되 개반냠네 되네 제고래서 송샤바 나신다 디바 되네 지교 말에 저 송바 나지 디바 파스 제메 디발 제메다 개와 주베디 상기기 송바 나신 제는 가지고 냠네 제고래서 송거래 야 추진도 세야 돼 상기 코로나 주기 냠는 간에서 나와 나신 디바 빠야다 게셔 주비야 간에서 나와 나신 딘 나신 제네 코로나 나와 나신 하나 주기도 냠네 지기 인생백이 또 냠네 제고래서 그러다.
Furthermore to this point, there's through the reflection on these four aspects of karmic law that we come to see the great importance of completely abandoning non-virtue and wholly embracing virtuous ways of thinking. So where we're struggling to change old habitual negative habits, it's through this reflection that we'll have developed the strength of mind to transform ourselves, to turn away from negative ways of thinking, of speaking, of acting. And we will have this ever more powerful motivation to strengthen our current virtuous minds. And moreover, we will gain ever greater certainty in the validity of the Buddha's teachings. And therefore, we will not have any feeling of being lost, wondering how to do this, but rather we'll have the ever stronger conviction that I need to practice in exactly the way that Buddha has taught, because the Buddha taught the complete and unmistaken path based on his own knowledge and experience. And this complete method is not only how the historical Buddha taught, but all the beings who have subsequently become enlightened, all those bodhisattvas in the world who are practicing now and are striving for enlightenment right now, they are practicing in the way that the Buddha has taught. So this gives us the confidence to apply ourselves wholeheartedly, to turn away from our non-virtuous habit patterns and to strengthen our virtuous habit patterns.
dine zadang jugi nyamne jegoya di karachi gorsen du sam taneng azo kedu gewa dan digba paya dan gewa gi nyamne gewa che gi nyamne che gores peju che gores song gorwa dine dine zada deji azo sheba na ji dagare dang azo dang bo khoralya kunlol masona dang azo kunlong ge topki kunlong di janju semji kunne la ji kunlong ya go cheba na di topki gewa di shuk che gore dine zang azo semje tamje da dewa dewa da dunga me dewa chibare 제자 디네자 semje tumje dewa de dena sembe dewa temper show samje jamje jamba sam다야다 semje tamje la dunga 구고 말 제자 semje dunga da ja 구도 semje tamje dunga da jawa show samje ane 니제곰 디네 semje tamje dunga da jawa다 semje de digi de temba de ngi 제구도 ngi강 제기 sembe 디니기 제기 디인장에 상지고 마마좀 탑면도 메심제 탐주 상지고 봐 토버쇼 삼제 다 디니기 가지고 자주셈 디니기 삼다 안 디니기 삼다지 당 가지고 도 삼다지 도시는 됐어 컴퓨터에 당 도시 당보 코로나야 아니 셈제 탐제 대화대 되나 대버쇼 삼제 삼다데 됐컴 덴디젤야 셈제 탐제 동화다 자나 셈비기 동화다 자와쇼 삼제 안 됐컴 dene di jelia semjan de dewa de demba de dunga da jawa de ngi jigi kang jigi sambege dene ge de samta an di jelia an 디인장의 셈제 탐제 다등알이야 되니 제고가자 다등알 누바 가야면 제가 되니가 산이 고바 마텀는다 이제 ዣ기 동화세야 디기투리야 한 판바 개체부터 쭉 터져 말해 대장의 산이 고바 마텀 탑미도 대장의 셈제 탐제게 된다래 디기투비야다 동화세게 된다는 산이 고바 토바지 세베 산이 고바 토바쇼 삼제 두치네 되어서 고미야래다 되네 곰네 하는 자주 셈시 곰바시구로와 되네 곰네 다나 셈제 탐정이 산지 고마 토야치도 곰바인자 되네 안 가르치 오라서네 니다 네 냠는 맞아발라 아니 네 산지 고마 토투고 말해 세상에 냠는 지고 오래 다 냠는 가르치 오라서네 아니 가지고 진소 파신 중에 냠는 지고 오라 진소 어디로와 제시고 오래 제가 되네 인자 진빈 냠는 주제 냠는 쇠배 냠는 준제 냠는 디제야래 세상아도 진빈 냠는 세 제여도 아니 가서 제여도 네 세나 세다 자오기는 제기면 대단한기 류가 이수미고네 셴레 폐배 자와 셴야 안 지금 같이 진비 땅기 선배 되니게 삼다야 되서야 가지고 고매야 돼. 두 삼다 두서 고매야 돼. 되네 삼다 고매제 안디기 진바다와네 되지 셰바나 지부티 디기 용걸 사가지 디르와다. 제가 지 안에 수rim소야 되다. 수rim소야 돼. 메류가 이수미고네 셴레 네베 자와서 자와이나 지금이야 선배 수rim소야다. 안디가나 아니 랑지징에 삼바 네 랑지징에 삼바 삼데 자원이 기죽매아 삼제 미 가리나 셴레 페베 셴제바즈메 삼로디 기투어마다 랑지징에 삼로토네 내가 싸우기는 지금 디균에 기죽매아 삼베기 디삼다바이나 아주 주름소야 차 안디나제 누치네 내가 저기 셴기 뇌바다 랑이 강아 가서 쇠배 냠네 지기서 누치네 냠네 지기서 내내가 누스요 고미야래 다 되었으네 다 제대사 나 저기 강변날이야 지주되 되지 파수 줘야 메디 두삼대 지고미야들이 샤당보
Having reflected then on these 4 points in some detail, this will result in a strong wish to accumulate vast stores of virtue and eliminate vast stores of negative karma. And having understood that the most powerful way to achieve both of these together is to cultivate bodhicitta. Generating bodhicitta leads to a powerful purification of non-virtue as well as a huge accumulation of huge stores of virtue. So how to then here engage, having reflected on these 4 aspects of karma, how then to generate bodhicitta? So this is first one reminds ourselves that all beings and ourselves are not different on a fundamental level. We all desire happiness. None of us wants to experience any problem or difficulty or suffering of any magnitude. So really on a fundamental level there's no difference between us. And having worn away at this feeling of separation from others, but rather developed a closeness and affinity with others, we then generate the wish that in the same way that I want to be happy, others have this desire too. May they achieve it. May all beings achieve happiness through the accumulation of the causes that lead to happiness. In the same way that I want to be freed of suffering and pain, may all beings avoid the accumulation of the causes that lead to suffering, and may they destroy previously accumulated causes that will otherwise ripen in suffering. We develop these thoughts further, generating the wish, may all beings only experiencing the ripening results of virtue. May they only experience happiness, and in this way we generate love for others. May no being suffer again. May no being accumulate the causes of suffering. May they eliminate the previously accumulated causes of suffering, and in this way be freed of suffering. And here we generate compassion for others. And then we take our mind of love and compassion further. And we willingly and wholeheartedly take responsibility for others to achieve happiness and to be freed of suffering. We come to see it as our individual responsibility to be able to skillfully guide others in the techniques that lead to accumulation of virtue, and the techniques that lead to the avoidance of non-virtue and the elimination of previously accumulated virtue. We take this as our responsibility. In this way we develop the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility. And then at this point in the meditation, we reflect that in reality, how can we do this right now? We haven't achieved lasting happiness for ourselves, let alone all beings. We haven't managed to eliminate all our previously accumulated negative karma, so how can we realistically guide others? The only way we can realistically do this is if we strive with single-pointed intent to become the most skilled of guides, to become a Buddha. Because it's only a Buddha who has perfect knowledge, perfect wisdom, and thereby can lead others in accordance with their personality, and lead others not just based on mere intellectual knowledge, but on unmistaken experience. So at this point, we generate the mind of enlightenment, the mind of bodhicitta, which is, for the sake of others, for the benefit of others, I will become a Buddha. Because it's only as a Buddha that I can be of greatest benefit to others. In this way, we generate bodhicitta within us. Then the next step in the meditation is, having generated bodhicitta, how does one actually become a Buddha? Not just through this mere aspiration, no matter how powerful, but through engaging in practices. And what are the practices? It's those of the 6 perfections: ethical conduct, generosity, patience, choice, perseverance, concentration, and wisdom. So here then, one can engage in reflection on these perfections. So for the first one, that of generosity, this is where one generates the commitment that I will guard my mind and ensure that there's no trace of miserliness allowed to arise. Rather, I will ensure that I have a generous attitude, an attitude that wants to benefit others, and ensure that this attitude pervades my way of speaking to others, my way of physically interacting with others. So I'll ensure my mind is guided by a wish to benefit others, the attitude of generosity. When we meditate on this, we cultivate in the mind of generosity. And as it's under the influence of bodhicitta, we are doing so in order to become a Buddha for the sake of others, and therefore it's a perfection. Then the second attitude is that of ethical conduct. The second perfection is that of ethical conduct. So this is where we generate the commitment to not harm others. We ensure that we guard our mind, we restrain our mind, ensure that our mind doesn't go in the direction of harm towards others. And thereby we restrain our physical behavior towards others and our verbal way of communicating with others. We ensure that with our body and our speech, we do not bring harm to others through ensuring that our mind is not harmful. And as this is a perfection, it is conjoined with bodhicitta, and the practice of ethical conduct of a bodhisattva is specifically guarding against being overcome by the self-cherishing mind, and rather ensuring that one is always acting under the influence of the other cherishing mind. So therefore one meditates on the other cherishing mind, generating this, seeing others who are innumerable in number as far more important than myself, who is just one. And thirdly, with the practice of patience, here we generate the commitment that whatever hardships I encounter in my practices, whether it's meditation or listening to teachings or in engaging with others, whatever hardships I encounter, I will not allow my mind to be overcome by these hardships, but rather ensure that my mind stays undisturbed. And it stays undisturbed through keeping my motivation ever present. That through my interactions with others, through my hearing of these teachings, through my reflection, my meditation on these teachings, I'm doing so in order to become a Buddha for the sake of others. And therefore, these mere hardships are of no strength, of no importance, and I can overcome these. So now you're at home, you have perhaps more time, because we are all confined to our home and we should not be going out. And therefore, And meditation such as this, one can engage in many times in a day and gain strong familiarity with such a meditation.
Bendigo come to Jada, and down to Tajinsa, and the Zemli Nala, Zumakaze, name the capture Chasa, and Namdra, Shena, and Kashele Legamare, Kashi Jongra, Gama, Chik, Duschit, Tigorva, Dinesa, Dinigi, Ganga Ninja, Sampigada Ninja. That the Nekanga Dunga the Pesasha, that the Dunga de la Tagurus, Tana, Sempiki, Dunga de Sula Trache, Luitiawata, Sim Kiva, Sosuki, Timpiki, Cheda, Timpiki, Java, Lambra Yapoyachi, Juna, Samche, Dinigi, some Tache, and then to get Ya Concholia, Nijike, Semche, Tamje, Dandalia, and then to get Dunga, Tiki. Gangati Shiagi Dondala, Semja Tamjiki, that Dunga near Nazada, Neluki Nazada, Simju Dungatiki Pa Shisia, Luida, Sim, Diawayaka Dondala, Conjolia, and Yuancha Puya, and then Medo Puya, and then Sosuke Charo, Kazi, Chazi Tuya, and Yajik Diniki, and then Menitaya, two Janzu, Diniki Kisho, Gang Tudu Checha Sosuregi. All the Nimiri, the Tsar. Chekaze, Tudu Dinichetumna, Geshe Thubten Rabten, and Dini Gondala said the Sosuki, Shokin, Dini Kawa Tushabatella, and Dini 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 Tuya Bay, or Johnson, Hangi, that the Lerame Chilo Pass Dromo, Dini Duty to Kapla Diniki, Yamna Chikora, Bemas Yakuya, the Magaokum, and then in Niman Sayin Pa, the new Diniki, the new Yakachi Tuyaki Chigina, Sambeke, that's the Dumbakie, Mazu some Daje, and then get you to be at the Chagore, Tiringi Anzuki, Jepetiki, then Yamlan Jadi, Anzuki, Nidelia, those and Yamlan Jadi, Chagora, then or then she didn't count to Jadi, Gechimo Chagore.
I'm sure many of you watching the video will be experiencing some concern, perhaps even some fear about the state of the world, the danger that the coronavirus is placing the world and so many people in, and ourselves as well. And whatever fear or worry or even anxiety that one experiences, one can be sure that there are many people who are feeling the same in the world right now, and many who are in a very grave situation. So this is something that we are all very aware of, and we will naturally use this in our meditation. It's a basis from which we can easily generate compassion for others, generating the strong wish that may those who are suffering in the world from this virus right now, may they be freed from whatever form of suffering they're experiencing, whether they are ill or fearing being ill, or their loved ones are ill, or maybe even loved ones have been lost to this disease. And also where they are experiencing suffering in terms of lost livelihood and not being able to provide the material needs of their family, not being able to feed or house their children because of the loss of their livelihood. May all beings who are suffering in this way and all other ways, may they be freed of this suffering. Instead, may they only experience happiness. May these problems be overcome, and all other problems that beings are experiencing, may they be overcome. May beings achieve a state of lasting, stable happiness. And whatever desires beings have, whatever longed for states they have, may these be achieved quickly and achieved in accordance with the Buddha Dharma. So in this way we can use the current situation in the world in our meditations. And then with such a motivation that may beings experience only physical and mental happiness and be freed from all physical and mental suffering, we then can engage in whatever virtuous activity we incline to, whether it's making offerings on one shrine of water bowls, or flower offerings, or offering of incense, or recitation of mantras such as Tara's mantra or Chenrezig's mantra, or meditation such as have been described. Then one has generated a powerful motivation, and doing so, and then engages in this virtuous act, and dedicates the virtue as has been described here. I dedicate this virtue, I offer as an act of generosity all this virtue that I have accumulated. May it ripen on the continuum of others. May others thereby be freed of all physical suffering, freed of all mental suffering. May this virtue purify the negative karma of beings, so that beings no longer experience suffering. May this virtue that I've accumulated, may it ripen on the continuum of others, so that all beings, without exception, experience only happiness. So this is the way that I encourage you to use your confinement, your physical isolation, and in this way, this will be a great opportunity to accumulate vast stores of merit and be of real benefit to others. And if you engage in this meditation just in the morning and later in the day again, however many times you can do this meditation, then in the evening, reflect on that, rejoice on the meditations that you've done in that day, rejoice in the virtue that you've accumulated in this way, multiply the virtue, rejoice in how you're using this opportunity of confinement. And then make the commitment that tomorrow I will meditate, I will engage in virtuous practices at least as much as this, perhaps even more so. And moreover, throughout my day tomorrow, I will ensure that these virtuous minds stay present and influence everything that I do. So this is how I'm trying to use my time now, and I encourage you to work alongside me in accumulating the stores, or ever greater stores of virtue in our world, and reducing the non-virtue that leads to suffering in our world. And together, let's engage in meditations such as these and improve the situation for beings in our world. So thank you very much, and then we'll finish here then tonight.